Morning, everyone. So it is Sunday morning. Our church is closed due to the coronavirus stuff happening. Which is, I say they're closed. They did do a drive-through service, but and they have it online and stuff, and we'll watch the service online, but we can't go to the drive-through service. One, having 9 kids sitting in the back of our van during a drive-through service just doesn't sound like a whole lot of fun to me. It sounds like the kids would be loud and cranky and stuff. But the main reason is our AC does not work in the back of the van, and we really need to get that fixed. There's no way, even though it's only like 80 or in the 70s, it's like a heat capsule back there because there's just no circulation. And in big vans, you don't have windows that roll down. So it just wouldn't work for us. So with all that said, we happen to have an appointment to get it looked at tomorrow. No, not tomorrow, Tuesday. If the places are even still open. I really hope it's not going to cost us an arm and a leg, because oh my goodness, it has to get fixed. Because we can't, it just gets way too hot here to not have AC. And especially since windows don't roll down. Anyway, so with all that said, we are enjoying our family. I would say having a leisure day, but Mama's always got a long to-do list for Daddy. But so far we have cleaned the back patio, which I really wanted to get done. I straightened up the garage a little bit, not to the extent that I wanted. But the kids are outside playing in the little kiddie pools and such. I was gonna show them, but I can't because they're in swimsuits, and that I think goes against YouTube stuff. So anyways, we've got several house projects that, are always going on. We still have stuff to finish for the girls' new bedroom, that I think my husband might end up working on at some point. We're talking about, Taylor really wants some shelves hung up. So we're trying to figure out a plan for that and looking on Pinterest and such. So that is what is going on. Hopefully we'll accomplish something. So nothing like a baby pool of Orbeez to keep the kids entertained, huh? They could seriously play with Orbeez forever. Miley, you're soaking wet again.
Yeah. I'm gonna go and change it now.
Y'all are adding to my laundry pile.
Jackson.
Alright, now these girls, what y'all got going on?
I'm trying to make
Hanging plants?
This one is going in that one.
Okay.
And then this plant, I'm not taking all of this, I'm just taking a few pieces and some fertilizer, I don't know, some dirt.
Yeah, so.
And I'm gonna put that plant in.
Yeah, y'all don't have the old ones that you made out here, do you? Alright, so they made plant hangers for these clay pots.
But this one got soaked in ink, so I had to redo it.
Oh. Yeah, with our ink accident. Okay. Because they want plants hanging in their new room.
But they have to be really, really long.
Yeah, because we have high ceilings in there.
Yep. I'm going to have 2 above my bed. I'm going to have that one and this one.
Yep.
And then Peyton's having one, I think, in her bed.
Yep. No?
No?
Well, Daddy found some hooks in the garage.
Cool. You better hurry. Because I want to see these hanging from the ceiling. I'm going to need a squirt bottle of water.
Yep. It'll look cool. Okay, so this is like to give y'all an idea of what they're making. They're just using yarn and making like macrame plant holders, I guess you would call them. I think it's pretty cool. Alright, so one of the things that I want to do today is get some work done in our garden. We have started our vegetable garden for the year. I've got seeds sprouting. This is my first year starting most things from seeds. So I'm a little nervous about that. But anyways, and today my husband is actually going to make me some trellises to get ready for when stuff starts growing. So I have not planted anything in the hay bales yet, but I actually plant directly in the hay bales. I need my plants to be a little bit bigger before I can do that. But this is my 3rd year doing it this way. We live in Florida and our dirt back here is really, really sandy. So this was an alternative way for me to have a garden that would be, have greater success in growing things. and it really has worked out well. I actually found out about this idea on YouTube, so if you're interested in more information on that, just search on YouTube hay bale garden. It really is kind of a cool concept. So anyways, with that said, I got 10 hay bales this year. I think that's the most that we have done. And then my husband made me 2 raised beds that are 3 by 6 maybe, I don't remember. And then he made me a 3 by 3 bed over there. And then one of our neighbors was getting rid of all these like wood things. And so I told my husband, I was like, let's take those because I could put dirt in there and put plants in there. So that is exactly what we did. And actually I was able to get free compost from our zoo, which was amazing and saved us a ton of money. So I'm super excited about that. And then over here is a teepee that my husband built last year for me, and I've got green beans planted around it. And then I just planted corn yesterday, and I'm going to put something else over in that dug up area. So I did happen to till up some ground and then laid some compost. So I'm hoping that does well. Again, having this compost from the zoo, I already got lettuce sprouting. I'm hoping, you know, we have pretty good success with that. And like I said, it also saved us a ton of money. And then in the pallets, I just plant flowers. So there's some zinnias starting to pop up. And then over in this one, I have nasturtium starting to pop up. And actually here, I planted vegetables in this last year. So this is a way that you can do a garden easily as well. This is just a kiddie pool. I drilled some drain holes in the bottom, filled it with dirt. Well, over the course of summer last year and winter, my milkweed ended up blowing their seeds all into the pool. So I have milkweed popping up everywhere there, and I'm just going to leave it because I think it'll be cool. I'm sure I could stick something else in there as well, but I'm going to just have a milkweed pool, which will help attract those pollinators. All right, so here's all my seeds that I've started. I actually have no idea how many I have, but I have all of that. This is primarily flowers, from sunflowers to marigolds. The last 3 cells, 3 rows of cells is tomatoes. And then we got zucchini and cucumbers and peppers and all of that fun stuff popping up. This is my absolute favorite to see happen, is when that little seedling just starts to peek out and start to sprout. It is just so exciting to me. I'm actually going to go ahead and start planting some more bean seeds and some flower seeds that I want to get in those boxes. But I'm just ready for this stuff to grow already so I can get it in my hay bales. Look at you working hard. So I wanted to take a second and just kind of check in with you guys and see how you all were doing during this whole coronavirus thing happening throughout the world, and see if anybody had any specific prayer requests. I would love to pray for you. Please put them in the comments below. Also, my email address is in the description box, so if you would like to send me an email instead of a comment, that is perfectly fine too. And just make sure everybody has the supplies that they need. It is kind of scary how scarce food is becoming. I actually went grocery shopping early than what I normally do to make sure that we were able to get everything that we needed. And thankfully I was able to stock up in the areas that I wanted to. I did have to tweak a few things in my meal plan because based off of that the store didn't have what I needed for those ingredients, which is fine. I mean, not that big of a deal. I love to garden. This is our 3rd year actually doing a okay, decent sized vegetable garden. But I've always dabbled before that, but then I kind of got serious about it a few years ago. And it's just, I really enjoy it. And I was talking with my friend Megan over at Pennies and Salt. I will link her channel in the description box below as well. And she also loves to garden. She's also another large family mom. She has 6 beautiful children. And she has just been a wealth of knowledge for me, and just helping me troubleshoot the areas that I need to troubleshoot and figuring out how to do in my garden. And I know that she's planning on making her garden a little bit bigger as well. With the way that times are, we have the ability to grow our own food, and it isn't as hard as what you would imagine it to be if you have no experience gardening. Sure, the first year or two could be complete flops, but you learn during that time as well. So I kind of just want to encourage y'all to maybe make some steps into a patio garden, or you can actually grow things straight out of a soil bag. You can grow lettuce that way. Any short rooted vegetables, radishes. I wonder if beans would work. Anyways, I'm getting ahead of myself. But just, I think now is as great of a time as any, if not even more so, to try to become a little self-sufficient and not be so relied on the stores, because things aren't on the shelves. And don't be scared to make things from scratch. I did not grow up in a household where my mom made everything from scratch. I mean, she cooked us dinner, you know, I grew up in a wonderful family. It just isn't the way that things were done. Now, my grandma made things from scratch. And I've kind of been, learning, you know, amongst becoming a mother and also having a large family, of where I can save money, and a lot of it is cooking from scratch. So if you just have some flour and sugar and just your baking basics, you can make anything that the shelves will be out of. You can make pasta. I have never made pasta, but you can if you want to, and maybe we will. You can make bread and tortillas and rolls and hot dog buns and hamburger buns. So don't be afraid. And if the first thing that you do fails miserably, don't be afraid to try again. I mean, the first banana bread that I ever made was raw in the center, okay? It was disgusting. And still to this day, I make plenty of things that it's like, ugh, you know. Anyways, but with that said, Megan has also helped me in that area as well. She has been baking from scratch a whole lot longer than I have. She knows a whole lot more than I do. And she shares a lot of recipes on her channel as well. I know that she's planning on sharing some bread recipes just to kind of help us out during this time. So I just want to encourage y'all not to be afraid of doing that. I think a lot of times we get, and I'm just as guilty as this, there's not, you know, a box cake mix. What am I going to do, or whatever. I just need to get to my point. My point is, let's not be afraid to think outside the box during these times. If things aren't readily available, I think it's smart right now to, what I feel like for my family is, I want to add more to my garden than what I originally was planning. I have 10 hay bales to plant in, and I can fit about 2, depending on the plants, I can fit 2 plants in each hay bale. And I asked my husband about getting about 2 to 4 more hay bales to add. And don't be afraid, like, to start baking some things from scratch to make things stretch. I really feel like we need to make our food stretch as much as possible. I was able to stock up on a few things, and I'm kind of hoarding those up high in my pantry. It's stuff that won't go bad or anything like that, but just to make all of our food stretch as much as possible. To me, as a large family mom, it's a little daunting because I have so many people to feed. And I know that God will supply. I'm not like fearful or anything, but I feel like it's my job to make these areas stretch, is what I'm, you know, getting at. So anyways, again, if anybody has any prayer requests or anything like that, please email me or put it in the comments below. I would love to pray for you. I'm praying for the whole nation or the whole world. It is just, it's very overwhelming. Everybody is feeling this, and it's okay. Like, you moms who may be thrown into your kids being home and you're homeschooling and you're not used to it, it's okay to baby step into it. Like, don't feel like you have to jump in and do everything all at once. Just, you know, take on another task each week or something like that, because it's just overwhelming, all of it. We actually took a few days last week and just focused on getting the things that we needed. I had to go to 3 grocery stores in one day, and that Well, that takes up a good bit of the day, so we didn't do school that day. But we read and we talked and we discussed and we colored and we played, and I think that there's importance in that as well, to take the time that we need to kind of help process all this. So don't be afraid to do that either. I just want to really encourage y'all in that. Don't be fearful. Our trust and faith is in the Lord, and I know that everything will work out, and He will help us and supply our needs. But we also have wisdom in the area that we can help, grow our own food, or, start making a few things from scratch just to help out. Okay, well, the day came and went pretty fast today. It is 9 o'clock. We got the little kids in bed. 9:07. We got the little kids in bed. Big kids will be, middle kids, they will be heading that way very shortly. So with everything that I said, things are obviously changing and a lot is happening, and it is scary, but I know where our perfect peace comes from, and that comes from Jesus. And I hope that you all have that perfect peace as well, and that you are able to rest in that, and that we all just know that and trust that. Keep praying, keep believing, and hopefully this too shall pass. I know that a lot of families are affected financially, and that is, to me, what is the absolute worst about this is how many companies are going to suffer through this. So let's be praying for those people as well. I hope that you all have a blessed day, and we'll see you in the next video. Thanks. Bye.